is the reason why so many traders go through this boom and bust cycle. This right here, portfolio heat. Have you ever heard of it before? If you haven't, this might be the reason why, if you're in this situation where you've got your equity curve and it's going up and it just comes right back down and up and down and up and down, and you're like this yo-yo, and you have these extreme highs, these extreme lows, and you're just kind of stuck there flatlining, and this could go on for years. I experienced this myself until I understood thoroughly this concept of portfolio heat. Now, what in the heck is portfolio heat? Portfolio heat is the overall risk in your portfolio. So here's an example. Here's the trades that I've got on right now. I've got positions in BJ's, in Go, GSX, Square, Zoom, and ZS. Now, if you are like most traders, you would just go and put 1% of your capital in each one of these, right? Now, for me, I did start off with 1% capital in each of them. The difference that allowed me to have all this and not have a lot of risk, I actually only have about 2% of capital risk. Actually, after today, with the run that GSX had, it just hit 130. I think I'm at about 1% overall capital risk in my portfolio. Now, how in the heck does that happen? I've got 6 positions, but I'm only risking 1%. I'm able to go and put more risk on, and in fact, I'm looking to add to my position in Square. How am I keeping my risk so low? My risk right now is only 2%. How do I have all of this and I'm still only risking 2% of my actual capital? The reason why is because I didn't start putting all this on at the same time. This is where portfolio heat comes in. Typically I'll start out risking only about 2 to 3% of my capital at any one time. That doesn't mean 2% in each trade. It doesn't mean that I'm going all in. It means that I'm putting in test positions. So first, let's say I tested out BJ's and Go and GSX, right? I don't remember the exact order that I did it, but let's just say that it was BJ, Go, and GSX. Put those trades on, see if they work, wait for them to begin to make some price progress. Then, as I'm able to raise my stops on them, meaning that I am able to take off that risk, right? Like maybe price ran up a little bit, so I'm able to reduce my risk to only 0.5%. Maybe I'm able to take the whole thing off, and now there's 0% risk, starting risk on that one, because I raised my stops on it. Maybe I sold a little bit into strength. Now there's only 5% risk, right? Same thing happens in this. Now maybe that's at 0%. Well, with GSX, that one already hit my ultimate profit target, so there's no risk in that one either. In Square, that one gapped up after earnings. There's no risk in that one, so that's at 0. Then I'm looking at Zoom and I'm looking at ZS. ZS is one where I actually added to recently as well. That one's still hanging around that original buy point, so it's still at 1%. Same deal with Zoom. That one broke out, but it hasn't quite left the station yet. So that's how managing portfolio heat lets me add all these positions, right? So these left the station, then I could add to this one, then I can add to that one, wait how those do. Then once those start to break out, then I could add another, but I'm not adding more until I start to get progress in some of the other ones. That's how you go from having an equity curve that looks like this crazy boom and bust cycle, to one that's going to look a little bit more like this. And let's draw it in green, right? Because that's what we're aiming for here. So that's where you're going to get an equity curve that comes up like that. Maybe it comes down. Yeah, like it's always going to have some dips. Maybe you have a little bit more and it's actually a little bit sharper. And then it goes up, right? So you still have periods of drawdowns in your equity curve, but instead of just chopping around sideways, it's going up. That's what you want. And this is how you get it, by managing portfolio heat. You don't want to have so much risk in your portfolio at any one time. Like if you have more than 5%, if you're risking 6%, 7%, for me, that's personally very high. And unless if you are a very experienced trader, in a very special case, maybe you're putting on that kind of risk, right? But for the vast majority of traders, and if you are somebody that is newer or you are at an intermediate level, you don't consider yourself a pro yet, then this is what you want to focus on. You don't want to have that much portfolio heat at any one time. Have 5% or less. Maybe you want to have 4% of your capital at risk. So that's why if every single trade here blew up, right? If I had 5% capital risk, so let's say this trade didn't happen yet, right? Because this one wouldn't have even been added if I didn't have progress in the other ones. But let's say all those were 1% capital risk and they all just blew up, right? Then the worst that's happening to my account, if we're starting at round number 100,000, the worst that's going to happen is that now I'm at 95,000, right? Like that's a lot easier to get back to. It's much easier to get back to 100 than it would be if I'm going all in on my trades and then all of a sudden, yeah, I made it from 100 to 125 a lot easier, but then I risked my entire account and now that 125 is back down to 75,000 or maybe 60,000, right? Like that happens so frequently, and it's because you're not paying attention to portfolio heat. Pay attention to portfolio heat. Only add positions when you're making progress, and this is going to be what your equity curve looks like. I just had a conversation with a bunch of traders in the Traders Mind chat room about this specific concept. If you haven't been to the room yet, go check out the room. It's on StockTwits. It comes with a free 7-day trial. I'd love to see you in there and teach you more concepts like this. I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions at all, please drop them down in the comment section below. I read all the comments and I answer them. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care, much love, peace out.